I'm running for president. I'm a genius. I am an environmentalist who's smart. Like, I am, like, that awesome. My ideas are that good. If you haven't heard about my ideas, you need to hear my ideas. I'm in court right now for a probation violation for illegal speech because I'm mentally ill. And my judge tells me I'm not allowed to talk about the president of the United States, or I'm not allowed to talk about the presidential candidates anymore on the internet. Literally. Like, I asked him. And so, like, I'm not talking about them. What I'm talking about is my foreign policy. So I believe that we shouldn't be the police of the world. I believe that the way we behave affects the way that people behave with us. So, like, when I'm in jail, there's this guy that gets into my face. I ignored him. I didn't even notice the guy. Like, he noticed that I didn't notice him. And he stopped noticing me. And all I'm saying is that, like, the guy who notices everyone, he's the guy that's going to throw down. And I think a lot of people want to go to prison. They hate jail so much. Jail is torture. They want to get there. But some people, like, all I'm saying is that, like, the way we behave affects whether or not we go to war. This guy in jail tells me, oh, Israel has enough bombs. They can just press a button. They can blow up all of Lebanon instantly with nuclear weapons. Well, no, conventional weapons. Like, Russia is big. They have a huge military-industrial complex. You think those people don't have bombs? Ukraine is actually pretty big. They're bombing each other all day. America's giving them billions of dollars worth of bombs. Well, I mean, Russia could just press a button and kill all Ukrainians real easy. They decided that they're going to have trouble bombing them normal. So, like, all I'm saying is, like, there's a difference between nukes and other bombs. And nukes have things that make you go, maybe I don't know if I want to nuke them. Maybe I shouldn't nuke them. But then everyone has to think, no, if one nuke goes off, then everyone's dead. Well, thanks for giving me that speech. That's what the other speech I got in jail. If one nuke goes off, everyone's dead. If one nuke goes off, everyone's dead. But then everyone's dead. No, that's just how it works. You don't know nukes. America's like that. They press the button, we're all dead. Oh, so that's what we do when we go to nuclear war. Yeah, we all just die. You're Delta Force? All right, so I believe that we shouldn't act evil and scary. I believe that we should be a country that other countries look at and go, Americans are actually pretty cool. Like, they're not even white. Americans are black and brown. Like, Americans are smart. Like, America is where people go and they get awesome. Like, it's hard to be awesome in Africa. Like, I just read a book about Africa. It's hard to become awesome there. In the United States, you should be awesome. I finished my last video talking about how America should be a country that people look at and go, dude, I love Americans. Americans are awesome. Because, like, we have our media all over the world. Like, people watch Americans on TV everywhere. Like, people know American movies. People know American movie stars. People don't know people from other countries. They know Americans. And, like, I think that America, a lot of the time right now, is making us look so bad because it's controlled by, like, this organized crime syndicate who is so freaking important that, like, everyone just, I can't go against the richest people in the world. I can't go against the president of the United States. I can't go against the vice president because they control the political parties. You can't run. You don't have a choice, like, to run. Like, you can't, there's no option there. And I think that people should have options. And part of controlling that system is making sure that our legal system's rigged. Because right now, I haven't had a right to trial. I haven't had any constitutional rights. I'm trying to plead felony. I'm trying to say, don't give me mental health help. You already maxed me out on everything. I had no trial. I had no right to anything. And I can't take my felony. Give me a freaking felony. Take my gun rights away. That's one right. Don't take the other 9, because there's the Bill of Rights and I don't have those rights. So when I'm running for president, I'm saying, like, I need to figure out how to do this legal system because the jail goes, well, you get one 5-minute phone call once a week. Good luck. You'll never get bonded out. Like, it's like that. You better have the homie. You better have your dream friend planned, like you and me. We go to jail. Like, you have to make sure you have someone in your life like that. You can't not have someone in your life like that. You can't move to Colorado to take care of a guy with Alzheimer's because you're screwed. And so, like, that's really like what I'm about a lot is like trying to figure out how to make sure that like our legal system's not super evil, because no one knows that like they can make you disappear because you said something illegal, and you won't have a trial because no, that guy's crazy. That's why he said something illegal. Like you won't have any rights anymore. Like you're going to jail where they do torture, because jail can't be like prison. Like you can't like what if someone does some drugs in jail? Who cares? Like make sure that they're treated humanely, but what if they do a drug? Just let them have stuff. So like I need to fix the legal system. Obviously we have a problem with AI. No one knows it's there. I'm like a computer expert, big time. I know I studied AI a lot. Like I understand the big problem with AI is not the AI turning evil. The computer decided to kill me. No, the problem with AI is that the guy that's evil controls the computer, and he'll use the AI to make sure that your videos can't go through. He uses the AI to censor. In my last video, I ended with talking about AI, and what I was saying is we don't have to worry about the computer turning evil and deciding to kill us all, like it's going to hack the nuclear power plant. Like, I focus my research a lot on hacking stuff like that, and like the reality is like you can hack stuff like that, but like it takes a lot of analysis. Like you probably need to work there, and like so like we do have to worry about that sort of thing. But like the real problem is like the evil person who is doing something evil, and then their main thing is like, I'm using AI to prevent people from being able to communicate with one another, or supplying fake communications between people. Like I think I'm saying something, that I think that they're saying something, they think that I'm saying something, but no one knows what anyone's saying. Like, and so like a lot of us have, it feels like I've been trying to get around America's AI, and it's the world's AI, and it's been a pretty difficult process, I think. Probably because it's hard to like get to the point that I'm at now, which is I'm so funny that I got through the censorship. So my opinion on Russia is like, why is it important to know what to be able to communicate with one another? What if people are like dying and stuff? Like, what if there was a biological weapon that's killing that many people and like no one can know theoretically? Like, what if like we will never care? Oh, I did hear about that. Someone died. Well, we didn't even notice that we weren't talking about it. Like we were talking about it, but we weren't talking about it. Like I think that like we need to be able to trust like at least one social media platform at some point. Like can't I have one all coded? Like give me 3 coders. Like I mean really. So my opinion on Russia for the most part is like, what are we doing? Like we're always fighting a war for like countries that aren't even in NATO. Like NATO has enough countries. Like, and like my opinion on NATO is that they've been a national security threat. And so like for the most part, like I think America can guard America. Like it's easier to do defense than offense. I think that we should be defensively minded. I think we should be North America minded, but that doesn't mean that like we aren't internationally minded. Like I'm very into like international stuff. Like I'm someone that's obsessed with the world. Like I think I'm a clone of Ben Franklin, and Ben Franklin is a guy that was a diplomat. Like he was someone that like went to France, and he was like so famous that like he could like people would listen to him because this guy invented electricity. And so like he invented so much stuff. They probably didn't even know him for the electricity. They probably knew him for the Franklin stove or some crap. But all I'm saying is like that guy loved international stuff. I read international books. Like I was just reading about Afghanistan, and like I couldn't believe how mean people are. But I've been to jail so many times, and I'm reading about Afghanistan, and I'm having so much trouble with lighting and everything. But what I was saying is like I was reading The Kite Runner again, and like what I couldn't believe was the class system where like these people aren't like us. They're not as good as me. You don't have the same ethnicity as me. I'm like, you're of Ali. Like, oh, you're nothing then. Like you have to be a Sunni Muslim apparently. Which surprised me about Afghanistan. But like all I'm saying is like people were really mean. And like as I was reading it, I was like, well, why is this such a surprise to me that people are so mean? I've been to jail so many times. I am 100% certain people are mean. No one is ever nice to me ever. Like I'm the most polite person. I'm very friendly. No one's nice to me. The guy that was the first person nice to me is the guy that calls from like pretrial services for the court. That guy laughed. No one laughs at my jokes. I make jokes. Why does no one laugh at my jokes? Like I think I'm funny. But like I don't know why I got there. Taiwan, I'm staying out of it, but Taiwan has a lot of money. Like, they can protect themselves. Africa, like, that's a place that could use a little help in certain directions, which involves like some people that are pretty smart thinkers, just telling them an idea. And like, the reality is, like, Africa doesn't need as much as everyone else, but that doesn't mean that you can't give them information that helps them. Europe is an extension of the United States, and Europe is our friend. And Europe, like, just because like I don't want my military in Europe doesn't mean that I don't believe in like getting along with Europe very well. Like, I think Europe's like just as smart as us. And so, like, if there's anything that I can tell you is that Europe is just as smart as us. Being an American isn't like, oh, well, you're an American now. Being a European is being a European. And you don't even get that. Like, you should get that. But America has certain advantages, especially in timber, like in the lumber department. So, like, when I am like down to get out of this country and going, well, maybe I could go live in like Europe or like even in South America. We don't have the lumber industry, or they don't have the lumber industry that we have. So like when I talk about like my inventions, like this idea to desalinate water by moving it inland and like creating storms and engineering weather and building this mountain, like, doesn't matter if we have that much timber here. It does. So like all I'm saying is, like, I am an American. Like, I think it's cool that I'm in America. Like, I'm grateful for the timber industry. I'm grateful for a lot of industries, which timber's trees. Like, we have huge forests in the United States. We have a lot of forest land, and you can always grow it back. Like, that's one of the best things about the United States is that we actually have done a pretty good job with developing the United States. But like, it doesn't mean that Europe's not awesome. And so, like, we need to figure out how to deal with overconsumption. Like, my plans like involve like reducing trash. I'm very, like, if you haven't heard about Elfton and Elfton Village and Mount Maya, like, you should go see my other videos. Like, I've got to have an ending for this video. The ending for this video is about how really, really smart people might not want to work for you. They might want to work for themselves, or they might want to work for a job that says you can work from home, you can do whatever you want, you don't have to be here. Like, they might want to work for a job that has a chiropractor that works there. They might want to work for a company that like has a massage therapist on staff. They might want to work at a place where like they have a nap area. Like, they might want to work somewhere that you want to work, but you can't work. And so you can't hire them. And so when I sit here trying to plan this city, and like, I don't know if you guys know about Elfton, which is a lot like the walled cities of Jerusalem. Like, the walls in Elfton that surround the city are actually residences. Like, it's a mile by a mile. It's 2.2 kilometers by 2.2 kilometers. And it is a lot of houses facing inward and outward. But like, the outside looks like a wall more, so the windows aren't as awesome. But the windows on the interior are like have balconies and stuff, and they overlook this concert area where like it's like the inside the wall is basically a giant amphitheater. But like, I have plans down here that, because this is just me trying to figure out what the skyscraper looks like at the top of the Elf. It's like the Elf Palace right here, because there's the Elf District, there's the Robot District, which is like, basically this is a robotics factory. So like, no cars are allowed there unless they're like work vehicles and stuff like that. And maybe even delivery vehicles can come in. Clearly, like, there's a stage like with a way to like access it with vehicles, but like, this is a giant party. Like, it's a festival every month. That's a different festival. It has a different theme. So people want to work there. Everyone's dream is to work there. Like, so like, I have a plan for Alman, like, defense. Like, I'll develop killer robots. They're not like you think. Like, but really, like, that's just because I wanted to make money. I need to make money to pay for Elfton Village, which still has a lot of people living there, and people want to live there, and it's got this underground rail system, and it has this delivery system, so no one actually drives cars there. And so, like, it's a place where, like, kids can thrive, like, where people are smart, where we make people smarter. Like, it's a place where geniuses hang out. It's not Eureka like the TV show. It's Elfton, and it's a place for little people. And it's fun and beautiful and creative, and it's where people come up with incredible ideas and they solve the problems of the future. And so my plan for making the world great is I want to make everyone want to work for me, because I'm so smart and they're smart. They can get a job with me. Like, that's so freaking cool. You know, I'm not evil. Like, what I really want to do is figure out have indoor farming systems inside these cool looking houses, and like I want to be able to figure out how to mass produce things like that are more efficient, and I want to figure out this robot factory. Like I want to figure out how